May 20th, 2025. I am in Waterford, Connecticut right now, and I'm going to do a little driving around, a little tour of a certain area that I've been wanting to do, and today is the day I'm going to finally get around to doing it. It's very overcast, which is my preferred type of atmosphere to record video in. I'm going to cruise down here on Great Neck Road. That's where I am right now. And we're just going to drive around this area. I am not a native of Waterford. I am from Norwich, Connecticut. I've lived there my whole life, so I am not an expert by any stretch of the imagination about this area that I'm about to drive through in Waterford. I'm going over some train tracks right now. But it's a beautiful area. I want to explore it a little bit. And that's what we're going to do. This place on the right, that Americana, used to be a very nice furniture place, but apparently they went out of business. Now it's Americana Fabrics. But for many, many years, decades, it was a place to buy furniture, very kind of a country, relaxed atmosphere in there. But I don't know if they retired. I have no idea why that furniture aspect of that store back there went out of business. I don't know. As we cruise down Great Neck Road in Waterford, Connecticut. Hopefully it doesn't rain. That would throw a pretty big wrench in the gears, but I don't think it's forecast till maybe early this evening, so I got my fingers crossed everything's going to work out just fine. A lot of beautiful homes in Waterford. A lot of historic properties down here. Okay, the road narrows. So you got to be a little bit more careful when you get the road narrows sign. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. You know, it's towards the end of May. I mean, the last week of May, so the trees and the foliage and everything is in full bloom. I'm going to take a right onto Goshen Road. Great Neck School to my left. I'm going to briefly pull in there because it is a landmark. And we like to get video footage of landmarks because people that used to live around here enjoy seeing these places that they used to go to school. And okay, I can't go right. I kind of wanted to go right to get a look at that school, but it's one way, so can't do that. But maybe there's another way I can approach it. We can look at some other nice homes. All right, let me see here. I'm simply going to back up in this person's driveway temporarily for 1 second. Point this thing at the school. That's as good as I can get. There's some trees and things. That's one thing about this time of year. When I drive around, there's no leaves on the trees. I get clear views of just about everything. But let's get back on Goshen Road. Right here. Everything is beautifully paved, beautifully maintained. Waterford has always been meticulous with their roads, their sidewalks, their, the pride of ownership. it's all there on these beautiful streets. I'm just looking around. I'm thinking, wow, it's really nice down here. Country Club Drive. That's a dead end. I don't know if there's a country club down there or not. Perry Avenue is to my right. But I'm going to continue down Goshen. Take my time. And let's see, to the right, if I'm not mistaken, Goshen Fire Department. Let's get a look at that. Right there, Goshen Fire Department on Goshen Road. Let's get some different views. There's a wrecked vehicle right there. That's probably used for training purposes, I would imagine. But there's a side view of Goshen Road. And taking a look around, I see no traffic. I'm going to take a left onto Shore Road. Wow, there's water if I can. You know what? Let me go straight. Okay, I'm sorry. This is Shore Road. I thought Shore Road was to the left, but this is Shore Road right here. And I noticed a large body of water directly ahead, so I'm attracted to that. Actually, Shore Road goes both left and right. That's interesting. If I took a left, that would be Shore Road. If I go straight, it's Shore Road. Interesting. I did not expect that. I don't recall ever being here. I may have, but not recently. Let's put it that way. I have not been down to this particular. Oh, this is Pleasure Beach. No, I haven't been down here in years. Millstone. You get a really bird's eye view of Millstone. That's for sure. There's a boat launch right here. Directly across the Cove is Millstone, which is Nyack. I wouldn't mind taking a walk over to Pleasure Beach, but I'm not a member, and I'm just going to get some views of the Cove from different angles. I'd like to take a walk over and take a look at Pleasure Beach, but it's a private beach, and I am not a member, unfortunately. But if I ever move to Waterford, I think I'll be able to do that. I think I would be able to go there. And there's some more. There's another view right there of the Cove, the beautiful Cove, with beautiful homes, direct waterfront property with docks. Very, very beautiful. Let me see over here. Let's see. Pleasure Beach is a private beach for your enjoyment, members. Okay. There's a lot of cool stuff going on down on Pleasure Beach, but there's no trespassing for me. That's as close as I can get. Let's see if I can take a look over some of these other areas. If I can sneak over here and get a glance at the different homes. But that's a look, a brief look at the Pleasure Beach area. In Waterford, Connecticut. I'm going to cross over this little tiny bridge that is just enough, it's very narrow, just enough for one vehicle. And definitely not two-way traffic. Okay, let's cruise around. I'm tempted. Okay, I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled. I'm gonna drive around. There's so many cool houses and side streets and everything. Take a ride down New Shore Road. There's a home for sale right there. As we drive down New Shore Road. And there seems to be another parking or something here. Let me take a look. Pleasure Beach parking. So you can approach Pleasure Beach from this area as well, apparently. Unless that's some kind of an overflow parking lot, I don't know. My assumption is Pleasure Beach must be pretty popular. I have to admit, this does not look familiar to me. I don't think I've ever been down this particular road. But there's a lot of beautiful homes, like right in front of us. Look at that, direct waterfront property. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. Keep my eyes open. Road narrows. I mean, look at these beautiful. I mean, there are some. That house to my right is a stone made out of, I think, it looks like blocks of granite. It's beautiful. I'm going to turn around, head back to that other area. I want to cover, there's a lot of houses, a lot of little side streets that look really interesting. So I'm going to be driving around for a little while, but I want to, this particular area right here is very, very interesting. Boy, oh boy. Wow, there's a house to my left. It's incredible. Now, what is this? No trespassing. There's a sign in there. It leads to, I don't know, a beach, but it's, again, private property. Beautiful home to my right. Everything down here is just incredible. I mean, there's people with waterfront views. I'm telling you, I got to keep this in mind for just photography if I can get anywhere near that water. I would love to get down there and take some pictures. I'm just going to briefly pull in here and then I'm going to turn around. I got to keep my eyes open. Actually, no, I'm going to go. I'm just going to continue down here. Something caught my eye back there, but that's fine. I'm just going to continue on. But this is direct waterfront property we're talking about here. Incredible views every which way you look. Again, I have a camera mounted on the car, so if my head can turn back and forth. Unfortunately, this camera sees straight ahead, but it is a very wide lens, so that's okay. That gets us at least a driver's perspective. Palmer Road would be to my right, but I'm going to keep going straight. I'm just trying to look around. The water is to my left. If I went, parked the car, just walked left, I would be right in the Cove. As I cruise down, you have Division Street down here. Division Street, okay, that goes around. I think I'm gonna want to go around Division Street, but let's take a ride up Anita Avenue right now. I gotta keep Division Street in mind. This is Anita Avenue. This is another beautiful street. There's beautiful streets all over the place down here. It is a very nice neighborhood. But at some point I'm going to turn around. I got to get back down to Division. Betty Street to my right. I'm on Perry Avenue right now. But I really have to, this Division Street caught my eye. Maybe it'll turn out to be some good water views down there. I have a funny feeling. I gotta turn around. I can't keep going. I'm going to turn around as soon as I can. Maybe I'll turn around at this person's. Well, okay, there's Goshen again. I don't want to. If I can make almost a U-turn. Let me see. Nobody coming either way. Let's see if I can pull this off. I did it. Okay. We're going to cruise back down to that Division Street area. And I'll zigzag my way around and I'll cover more stuff. Jordan Cove was really nice. I don't know if it's Jordan Cove. I assume that Cove there is Jordan Cove. That Pleasure Beach area. I just wish it wasn't private because that's really nice. So Perry blends right into Anita Avenue. There's Linda Avenue to my left. Okay, well, I was going to pull over for a second and try to figure out my GPS, but that's fine. Okay, here we go. I just got to get down the end of this road. Division is right down here, I believe. I don't know if it's a one-way street or a two-way street. I'm going to find out. This is a quiet area, not a lot of traffic, beautiful lawns maintained. Okay, here's Division. I'm going to enter Division right here. Yeah, these guys are right on the water right in front of me. You can see to the right, hopefully between those trees, the water views. And again to the right, right over there. I mean, to the naked eye, it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm glad I went down to Vision Street. I mean, there's people with decks right out over the water. The Vision Street's kind of, it's just like a horseshoe. It's just kind of like a horseshoe. It goes around. Boy, I look to my right over there. There's a lot of beautiful boats and things docked down there. I'm going to take a left. But I'm covering some serious Waterford territory down here. Beautiful Waterford. Back on Shore Road again. It's very quiet down here. There's really just no traffic. I mean, there's no traffic. The car coming, this vehicle coming towards me right now. That's about it. Jordan Cove Road. Yeah, let's take a ride down here. Let's take a little cruise. There's a small bridge that I'm going to be crossing over momentarily. And it says no swimming or diving. Beautiful views to my right and left. I wish there was a little area that I could park, get out, record some video, but there really isn't in that spot back there. Jordan Cove Circle. Let's do it. I see water down there. Wow, there's a person cutting here, shredding or doing something serious tree work. And I gotta be real careful. But I think you can see right in front of you, we're about to hit a real beautiful spot. Nice corner right there. Look at that. Premium wide-angle view of that beautiful Jordan Cove. A lot of people out doing gardening today. Bayside remodeling. I'm going to actually turn around just so I can approach it from a different area. And get a different view. Right there's that bridge off in the distance. I mean, it's kind of far off there, but that's the bridge I drove over to get to this section right here. Again, there's some kind of real important tree work or shrub work or something going on down here, so I gotta proceed with caution. As we continue to record footage. video documentation of this particular area in Waterford, Connecticut, filled with beautiful homes. I mean, if I had full control of everything and just no one cared, I'd pull into every one of these driveways just to give you a look at the houses. I mean, this is... Okay, I gotta turn around. Let me get down this road a little bit. I just gotta point out, that's one thing, I am missing some really cool stuff because of the fact that I can't point the camera. But we're doing the best we can. That's all we can do. We give you, perspective from a vehicle. A straight ahead drive. All right, this is another real cool Lanyard Lane. Straight ahead. Millstone Point, private property, members only. Right straight ahead. Again, beautiful residential properties every which way I look. Really, really nice stuff. But this is Millstone Point. Very unique home straight ahead there with that flat roof. Absolutely gorgeous. There's docking. What is this? Let me pull in here. Millstone Point, private property. I'm just going to pull in here for a second to give people a look. I mean, I'm pointing down. I'd like to get my camera. Let's see if I can pull over here. There's a good view of that cove on a perfectly overcast day, a perfect day for filming. When I say perfect, I mean I couldn't have scripted this thing any better. As far as lighting is concerned, I'm just talking about cinematic lighting. And I'm going to get you another angle right there. We'll hone in on that for a second. You can freeze the frame if you want to take a real good look at it. I'm really happy I am doing this drive in this location because there's so much absolutely gorgeous scenery everywhere you look. Let me see if I can back up into this person's driveway just for a second here to get another look. Right there's a kind of a wide shot right there. I love that sky, and I love the boats, the trees in the background, the beautiful homes. Let's do some more cruising around. I'm not sure which way to go here. Left, right. I don't want to end up going in circles. I'm not totally familiar with this area. I may have to, if this blends into where I just came from, I'll turn around, but it's hard to tell. Let me see if I can, yeah, okay, no, I went down Lanyard Lane. Okay. Race Rock Road is down there. Now that's a dead end. Okay, we went down there. Okay, there's a lot of dead ends. Gunshot Road. Wow, interesting name for a road. Okay, now here's another Millstone Point Association members only. So I'm assuming there's a nice beach. I see a bunch of benches over there. Very exclusive area. We'll go up Race Rock Road. We're covering some territory down here. That is for sure. All right, I think this is, I want to go into this train trestle for a second. Let me cruise under this beautiful train bridge. And I'm just going to turn around. Welcome, Waterford Youth Football and Cheerleading. Okay, so let me get up to this. I don't know. I mean, there's a fence. But it says Youth Football Cheerleading. Welcome to the home of the Waterford Lancers Little League. So there's a lot of stuff going on down there in those fields right there. But the fence is chained up, so I'm not going to be able to drive around and get a look at that field. It'd be nice, but I just can't do it today. We're going to go back through this train bridge, and when I take a slight left on Jordan Cove Drive, I'm just going to point the car and go very, very slowly to the left so you can get a good look at that cove right there. It's hard to, there's no way for me to back up because this would be a really nice view right here. But I just can't back up. There's no home across the street or anything like that. I think I might turn around. Let me turn around this person's driveway. Let me see here. Whoop. Somebody coming. Gotta be careful backing out. All right. Perfect. I just want to explore the Jordan Cove Road a little bit. I mean, it says no outlet. I just want to make absolutely 100% sure that I didn't miss anything back here. When you do these drives, if you're not familiar with the area specifically, things can get a little tricky. I'm going to get down Race Rock Road, even though it's a dead end, because it might matter to somebody that maybe used to live on Race Rock Road, and they want to see their house that they used to live in, And we got to cover it because we're here. Now, I like the windows on that house right there. That's really cool. All right. All right, so I think I covered this area thoroughly enough where I'm going to... Let me do one more sweep straight ahead because I like that. I'm getting a little greedy. I like that water view right there. I want to soak that up again. There's a ferry, probably the Block Island ferry or something. Right there. But we're going to work our way out. I think we covered a lot of this. Very important territory. There's a little bit better view of that beach over there. I can't get over that hill. These people live right on the water. It'd be nice to get out of my car and walk around and all that. I'd love it, but I just, obviously, if I knew the people, I would make arrangements in advance to do just that. So I think I covered all of this. Beautiful area, really beautiful. Some roads I did more than once, and that's fine. There's that very nice house with that flat roof, that modern architecture. All right, so I'm convinced that I did all that I needed to do. Millstone Point. In the Millstone Point area. Let's do a little bit more exploring. Let's take a gander at some of the other areas in this vicinity, in this locale. All right, there's Jordan Cove Circle. We did that. And that was absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of absolutely beautiful areas down here. Okay, we're approaching that little bridge. With beautiful views all over the place. So if I can go left, I'm going to go left. Yeah. There could be some other interesting things to see down here. That's Shore Road. We're going to get back on Shore Road. Now, the speed limit down here on pretty much all these roads is 25 miles per hour. If you live in this area, it's very quiet. You don't have to deal with traffic whipping by your house at high speeds or, noisy vehicles in a congested area. This is, if you live down here, this is peaceful, quiet, relaxing, on the water. I mean, you can't get any better. Waterford again is a gem of a town. Let me take a left. I don't know if I can. No, that's private. Well, no parking. I don't know if this is I might be taking a chance, but it gets us a look at. Now this ends, but it gets us a look wherever there's water around. I'm kind of gravitating towards water views. If I can grab them, I will. But in that case that's private property. So again, not something I'm going to venture down too far. Madison Street, this is... I don't think that is going to lead me anywhere near that big body of water back there, but I'm on Lanphier Road at the moment. And I don't want to be drawn too far away from the water. I kind of want to keep that on the back burner here to keep, heading towards the water. Now, there's something to sign up here. What is this? Great Neck Country Club, Langley's Restaurant, open to the public. All right, it looks like a golf course. I'm just going to turn around over here. Yeah, there's a golf course here. I'm on a private road, so I'm, again, golf course, kind of an exclusive area. I'll just turn around. Golf parking, golf event parking, members only, the whole 9 yards. I mean, this is... No, I don't want to... I gotta back out of here. And I'm just simply gonna turn around without going down to the... That's a parking lot down there. It's just a parking lot. We didn't miss any amazing scenery or anything like that, but there's a guy golfing right there if somebody wants to take a quick glance. That gentleman over there golfing has been captured on video, and that almost grants him a little slice of immortality. He'll be on video for many, many decades and centuries. There's sand traps to my left and right. I mean, this is a beautiful golf course. Absolutely gorgeous. We've had a lot of rain lately. We're no longer in a drought. We're out of the drought. More rain on the way tonight and this week. So we're pretty well covered. But I'm going to take a left. I want to get back down. Again, I don't want to get away from the water. Jack Brower's Nursery, that interesting looking building directly ahead of us. Take a left here. That was actually Country Club Road. It's an appropriate name because there's a country club there, so that kind of makes sense to me. Beautiful hedges maintained down here on Lanphier Road in Waterford. As we get down the hill, there's that nice body of water with train tracks in the distance running right along that cove right there. All right, let's work our way back to that area, that cove area. And I'm going to do a little bit more exploring down there. Again, we've returned to Shore Road. I'm heading in the opposite direction. I mean, personally, I think this is an incredible area. I wouldn't I wouldn't hesitate to recommend anybody, if you're interested in buying property, to seriously consider this whole area that I've been driving around in. I mean, it's picture perfect. And again, it's relaxing. It's quiet. I'm going to go up Anita just for a second. I missed a couple of little side roads because I'm kind of getting the lay of the land, getting a little bit more comfortable with some of these streets. And I noticed I missed this Lee Road. I kind of... it's kind of important for me to cover these little side streets. I wouldn't want to leave this out of this particular area. That way I'll be able to, get this entire neighborhood in the books. And there's Linda Avenue to my... If I take a left, but I'm going to go right. If I'm not mistaken, this neighborhood, if memory serves me here, let's take a look. Okay, this is Alice Street. Let's go up Alice Street. And this is Oak Road on my left. So we covered Oak Road completely. I'm going to take a left onto... I don't know. I don't see... Let me see if there's a... Oh, yeah. Betty Street. Okay. Betty Street. We're going to get back onto... Lee Road. Look at some of the new homes. We're covering a lot of territory here today. We are covering a considerable amount of territory. Lee Road, we're going to take a right back onto Anita, because I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss anything in this area. You know what? I already went up that road right there. I'm going to turn around right here. I'm starting to get my bearings. So we got that neighborhood back there covered real good. And I'm going to turn left. We can briefly look at these beautiful gardens in front of us. Okay. Division Street is on the right. We did that earlier in the video. That was very nice. That gets right, literal waterfront property right down there, right up against the water. Again, Shore Road. I'm starting to get a real liking for this Shore Road, let me tell you. Palmer Road to my left. Now let me take a look to my right here. My driving, luckily there's nobody around the back or whatever behind me, because my driving today would probably be considered a little bit unorthodox. There's a waterfront property right there, that very interesting home to the left, right there. You can see the beautiful cove in the background of that incredible modern architecture. This is bringing me right back down to Pleasure Beach, but coming from a different angle. So I'm not going to cover that again. Although, actually, wait a minute. I got to turn left here. This is a real narrow road. I'm not saying it's one way, but I think it certainly should be. With hedges and... Yeah, if I took a right, that puts me at Pleasure Beach. We covered that. And it was beautiful. All right, this is Valley Street to my right. I didn't cover Valley Street. All right, it's a dead end. So some of these roads, actually it leads to Cliff Street. Okay, this is Cliff Street. This is a densely populated area. I mean, the houses have, there's New Shore Road again. I don't know if I should go up. I might go back down New Shore Road and then continue from there, because that does give me some new areas to explore. I've been down here, but I turned around kind of in the beginning of the video, towards the beginning of the video. There's Leonard Road. There's a tiny road, Leonard Road. It's a dead end. I'm not going to go down there, but it's interesting. Yeah, this is an area with, again, earlier, just nothing less than spectacular views. Everywhere you look. And there's that beautiful stone home that I mentioned earlier. I'd love to drive down there, but it's private property, and we're going to respect that, obviously. So New Shore Road, it's kind of pulling me away from, I get an eye on my GPS, so a little bit, it's pulling me away a little bit from the water, but we're going to kind of turn back. A gentleman going out for a walk. All right, this stop sign, I'm going to take a right. That's going to put me on, believe it or not, Shore Road, the appropriately named Shore Road. Beautiful tree-lined, wooded area. I don't know if this is, yeah, this beautiful waterfront. I would use the term mansion back there to my right. It was kind of off in the distance. Spectacular houses on Shore Road. This is Magonk Point Road right here. It's a dead end, but I'm curious. I'm very, very curious. Yeah, there's some real high-end properties down here. There's some real, real beautiful waterfront property everywhere you look down here. I'm definitely glad I came down here, because that's a view right there. I'm just gonna linger on that for a second. It's all private property. This is people own that beautiful green lawn right there. You turn ever so slightly, point in the other direction. You know, I'm looking over to my left and I see the former seaside facility. So yeah, this is a spectacular location to live, any one of these neighborhoods. And I'm going to proceed with caution. Go very slowly around these corners. It's a very windy road. But again, that home on the right, for example, everything down here. I would use the word gorgeous. I mean, I throw that word around a lot, but boy, this is the definition of this Magonk. Let me read that right. Magonk Point Road. I mean, that is something else, that road back there. And Shore Road again. So we're back on Shore Road. I'm keeping my eyes open. What do we have down here? A Connecticut State Park. Okay, this is seaside. Can't drive down there, but I'll go as far as I can. This used to be open. There's a barrier here now, a fence. But you can see through the trees there. That's the seaside, or the I don't know, it was a state facility for treating, I don't know if it was mental illness or, some form of medical facility or housing of some nature where they treated people's certain conditions that they had. And obviously it's located on beautiful waterfront property. There's a beach, and it's incredible. I'll briefly turn into this parking lot to get a look at some of the different structures they have down here. For example, it's a little bumpy. For example, this building right here. This building in front of me is probably part of the, I'm going to back up, is seaside. Because it has a slate roof. And it fits the profile for that era. And there's another little tiny building. I don't know what it was back in the old days when this place was, fully operational, but I'm kind of happy we got a look at that. Again, as you can see across the street there is a spectacular house. I'll point the camera briefly, but I'm going to go right. This is probably, let me take a look. I see a dead end, but I don't think it's gonna, it doesn't bring me close enough to the water. So that's just a little side road, and I'm just going to end up having to maybe have a difficult time of backing up or whatever down there, so we're going to skip that one today, but I'm still going to maintain this shore road position that I got here. All right, it's coming to an end. Let's see this West Strand. That does not, that's dirt road. Yeah, that doesn't bring me, it's very narrow. Looks like, I mean, it's two-way traffic, but it's only enough for one car, so it's... This is going to bring me out near Harkness Memorial State Park, I believe. Great Neck Road leads to Harkness. Let's see, the Strand, no outlet. Not 100% sure what's down here. That beautiful house is down here. Hopefully I can turn around. Maybe we can get some water views. I don't know, but we're going to try. I see the water in the distance. And I do have to keep my eyes open because sometimes these roads turn into driveways. I mean, this is called the Strand. Look at that house. Direct waterfront property. And it's really, really nice waterfront property. All right, there's another private no trespassing sign right there. Okay. We're on the Strand. We get to see these really cool homes. I'm not 100% sure if that thing leads us out of here or not. I better go this way. Can't take any chances. I don't want to, like I say, end up down somebody's driveway and it happens to look like a road, because that has happened to me before. All right, this is going to lead us out. Back down to, I think, Great Neck Road. Let me take a look down Sea Meadows Lane. No, that's just a few car lengths down, and I would have to back up to get out of there, so we're not going to do it. All right, you got to be very careful. There's a wall to my right. Getting out of here is a little bit tricky, but we're okay. And Great Neck Road. Yep, we're back. Yeah, there's some incredible older architecture down here. To my right, that yellow home. I've always loved that. Yeah, there's a beekeeper. Somebody back there has beehives that they're maintaining. And Harkness Memorial State Park. Next right. I don't know if they're charging an entry fee right there. Harkness Memorial State Park. But if they are, I'm just going to turn around. If not, I'll take a quick glance and head out of here. Let's go for a spectacular view right here. Let's lock in on that. We'll linger for a second and explore a little bit more of this Harkness Memorial State Park area. We're not going to be able to see too much because this is just the parking and you have to walk. There's a beautiful mansion up here. There's beautiful flower gardens up here. There's fields and different, I don't know what they are. Probably part of the original ownership of this this property was, private residence way back. So those outbuildings and all that stuff probably belong to the owner, I would assume. And there's another view. Way off in the distance, that peak, that's not a church, that's Seaside, where we just were moments ago. Beautiful meadows down there, the wildlife and the birds and the, especially, a lot of fowl that live near the ocean and the shoreline are prevalent down there. A lot of bird watchers come to this area. There's some of the grounds of Harkness. In the distance, there's that very beautiful building. I don't know what it was used for, but again, it's my assumption it was part of the property that was owned by the original owner, whose name I have to assume was Harkness. It's one of the nicest gems in the state of Connecticut, Harkness Memorial State Park. If you've never been to Harkness Memorial State Park before, you're missing one of the really most incredible, beautiful places to park your car and walk around anywhere in Connecticut, with views, ocean views that are, they'll blow your mind. And there's also some really good fishing down there, if you enjoy fishing. Photography, bird watching. It just goes on and on. Back on Great Neck Road. We've covered a lot of territory today. I'll cover a little bit more. But I think we're approaching the end of the video relatively soon. And then I'm going to head back home. Okay, now if I take a right, this brings me into Camp Harkness. I don't know if I'm really allowed to go in here. No, I'm just going to turn around. It's gated off. There's some really nice views and different, buildings and things that are quite interesting to look at, but it's gated off, so I can't get back there. But we're just going to go down Great Neck Road a little bit further. And we'll take a right at Eugene O'Neill Theater, and the Waterford Beach is down here. I have a video. If you're interested in seeing Waterford Beach, I have video of the beach that I shot as this truck is attempting to back up. He's got a tricky maneuver to make, so I'm going to wait for a second. Let him do what he's got to do. Take your time. But I'll take a quick cruise around here, if I can, if I'm not blocked off. And then we're just going to have to end the video at that point. So I think I can get around him. Okay, if I go right, it's going to bring me down to Waterford Beach. I'm not going to be able to see anything. There's some of the beautiful Eugene O'Neill Theater area, the homes. I don't know if artists live there or I don't know. Let me hone in on this Eugene O'Neill Theater right there, that red, beautiful red theater. Very old-fashioned. Again, it's got water views. Box office is right there. Edith Oliver Theater. There's other theaters. Hammond Mansion, Blue Jeans Pub. I'm just reading some of the signs. I don't think I'm authorized to go up the road right there. I'm not going to do it. But I'm kind of glad to get a look at some of these. I don't know what they are. Residences? I'm assuming they're when actors and actresses perform, maybe they stay in these houses. Again, it's pure speculation. If anybody knows the answer to that question as to what these are. Let's see, August Wilson Cottage. I mean, there's a name there on that, on one of them. Okay, there's another one, Wendy Wasserstein Cottage. Wendy Wasserstein. That's a familiar name. The Ruth Cottage. Trying to read the names. Michael Douglas Cottage. Okay, so Michael Douglas, famous actor. Sure he's been down here. Paulette Haupt Cottage. I'll take a ride down. I mean, okay, now I'm getting greedy. I'll take a ride down to the Waterford Beach parking lot. I don't think we're going to be able to see anything. I can't remember. That's if I can actually get all the way down here, but I'll try. Okay, it's not blocked off. Sometimes this area right here is blocked off. Very heavily wooded in here. There's a big speed bump strategically placed right here. But I mean, this right here to the naked eye, to me, visually, incredible. This has been one of the most enjoyable drives I've done in some time with regards to just a peaceful, beautiful area. Every inch of ground that I covered today, it was an absolute pleasure. I am very happy that I got to be able to do this today with the weather holding out for me and the sky being just perfect for my videos that I do, these videos. I'm not going to drive down here, but I'll give you kind of a look off in the distance there, beyond those trees. You would get to Ocean Beach, which is another, gem. That's in New London, Connecticut. And we're going to get some more of this beautiful wooded area. Reminds me of Mohegan Park in Norwich, but this is, this is right on the water. I'm going to drive up. There's one other little road that I might want to take a gander at if it isn't private or anything of that nature up here, and that's what I'm going to call it quits. I'm not quite sure. Let's take a look to see if I can take a right down here. I don't know, but I think that's worth checking out. Again, I don't know if I can, how far it goes or any of this. All right, there's all kind of directions. I'm just going to turn right around here at this beautiful property. All right, I'll back up down here. And we'll get some different views. Whoa. It's kind of nice right over there. I mean, it's off in the distance. I don't know if you can see it through the fence, but it's beautiful down there. There's the back of that building. I'm not sure the name of it. I kind of missed the sign. There was a sign with a bunch of names on it, but I couldn't catch him. All right, Eugene O'Neill Theater Center right there. I don't know if we can see over this wall. Probably not. Maybe, I don't want to bash into the wall, but that's the fields. Everything's maintained beautifully. They have landscaping crew down here. As I work my way out. As I work my way out of this particular beautiful Eugene O'Neill Theater complex and Waterford Beach complex. Folks, I'm going to pull over here just for a second. Right over here, right down here at the tennis courts. And that's going to be it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I certainly did. That's the end of the video.